So, not too long ago, the former youngest undisputed champion of all time in the Four Belts era and the current undefeated fighter Devin Haney, he stated that his goal is to rematch Ryan Garcia. He wanted to get it back in blood. But originally, Devin Haney already explained why he didn't want to fight Ryan Garcia immediately and decided to sue him instead, especially while Ryan is going through his suspension. Devin can't even fight him anyways at the moment in time. Check it out.
This is only going to drive more interest in a rematch between the two of you. Yeah. How interested are you in getting back in there with him again?
Honestly, I'm not too interested in it. During the build-up, we've seen a lot of interesting things from him. We've seen his character. We've seen the guy cheat. We see the type of person that he is. I don't see myself ever, getting back in the ring. But I'm a fighter. I'm speaking, right now with how I feel. But we never know what the future holds.
Hypothetically, though, what kind of assurances would you need if there was interest in doing this fight?
I don't know. We have to see down the line. But as of right now, it wouldn't be a fight that I would really entertain. Like I said, this guy showed his character. He showed that he would do anything to win, including cheat. Mm-hmm. And that's just reality. A guy that would do anything to win. This is a sport at the end of the day. Boxing is just a sport. We put our lives on the line. So he put my life in jeopardy. So now it's deeper than boxing with me. I don't even want to. I want to take this thing somewhere else now because it's like I said. He could have did some real dangerous things to me that night.
For the shit that he did, I want to make him pay for the shit that he did in the ring, out the ring. However, we not friends. It ain't none of that. Like I said, he gonna pay for it. He gonna pay for what he did in the ring and out the ring. I mean that in many different ways. When you sign a contract, he said that he's gonna be clean going into the fight. I'm gonna be clean. It ain't gonna be nothing in my system. It ain't gonna be nothing in his system. And he didn't hold up his bargain. He didn't hold up on his side of that. So he will pay. I want to get it back in blood in the ring, but also outside the ring. I'm still a businessman at the end of the day.
Now, before I get to what Devin Haney said, I want to address all of the noise, all of the hate. To the people that say Devin Haney is soft, he's not from the streets because he sued Ryan Garcia for cheating. That would mean Canelo is soft, Bernard Hopkins is soft, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, and Muhammad Ali are all soft because at some point in time, they sued someone. First of all, Devin Haney is not a street cat, like Bernard Hopkins was dissing him as if he's a street fighter. Devin Haney is a professional fighter. He's not from the streets. If he is, he would have never became the youngest undisputed champion. You can't be both. You have to pick your profession, and Devin Haney chose to become a champion, not to be in the streets and possibly lose his life. However, y'all haters can't seem to make up your mind. When he fought Regis, y'all said he was a school kid, a private school kid. But now all of a sudden, he's a street cat. Which one is it? But let me enlighten you. You know who's really a street cat? Canelo Alvarez. And do you guys know Canelo was so soft, according to you guys, that he sued Oscar De La Hoya? Whoa, wait a minute. Canelo grew up in rough parts in Mexico. How come nobody called him soft when he sued Oscar De La Hoya? Even though Canelo is from the streets of Mexico, how come nobody called Bernard Hopkins soft? Even though he's from the streets as well. Bernard Hopkins got locked up. He went to jail and got out to become a champion. And when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, after the fight, he sued Oscar De La Hoya. How come nobody called Bernard Hopkins soft? Hopkins had the audacity to diss Devin Haney and Bill Haney's street credibility when he sued Oscar De La Hoya. I'm talking about Hopkins, not Devin nor Bill. It's so hypocritical for Hopkins to diss Devin Haney when Hopkins did the same thing Devin Haney did. Let me blow y'all mind. Pause. Do you guys even know how Hopkins owns a percentage of Golden Boy? I believe it's around 10%. Do you guys know how Hopkins owns a percentage of Golden Boy? Well, it's through suing Oscar De La Hoya. Hopkins and Oscar ended up settling out of court. That was their settlement agreement. No one called Hopkins soft, just like no one called Canelo soft, just like no one called Mike Tyson soft. I mean, how do we even have the Muhammad Ali Act? Thanks to that, fighters are safe, or at least more protected than the UFC, thanks to the Muhammad Ali Act. How do you think that change came about? It's people like Devin Haney and Bill Haney who got put in position to make a change. So instead of criticizing Devin Haney, everyone should thank Devin Haney, because now cheaters like Ryan Garcia have something to lose by cheating. Surprise, surprise, there's actually consequences to cheating in the sport of boxing. So how is that a bad thing? Unless you're a race fan. Unless you're a cheaters fan. I bet if the shoes was on the other foot, if Devin Haney was the one who cheated and Ryan was the one who got cheated, the victim, no one will be criticizing Ryan Garcia. Everyone will be bashing Devin Haney. It will be unanimous. It's all about the yin and the yang to these race fans. That's all they see. They don't see right or wrong. They only see black and white. They see colors. What Devin Haney is doing is no different than what Floyd Mayweather did when he made a change when it came to the Manny Pacquiao fight. Floyd Mayweather is the reason why it's now mandatory to do random style drug testing. But do you guys know, when Floyd said he's not going to fight Manny Pacquiao prime for prime only if Pacquiao takes the test, VADA testing, USADA testing, random style drug testing. Pacquiao said no. Basically, either Pacquiao was ducking or Pacquiao was on steroids. And do you guys know the public was bashing Floyd instead of Pacquiao? They told Floyd, so what? Fight Manny Pacquiao without the testing, even if he's on steroids. Therefore, clearly, it's not about right or wrong to these race fans. It's about color. They wanted to see Floyd Mayweather lose so bad, and that's why they were so happy when Devin Haney lost to Ryan Garcia, a fighter on the hope list. Now back to Devin Haney explaining why he didn't want to run it back with Ryan Garcia immediately after he found out Ryan cheated. I see people calling Devin Haney soft once again because Cotto didn't do that. But ironically, Cotto didn't fight Margarito immediately after he lost to him when he found out Margarito cheated. Cotto waited 4 years after Margarito cheated before he rematched him. Margarito had already got knocked out by Sugar Shane Mosley, so on and so forth. I believe even Manny Pacquiao beat him by that time before Cotto fought him again. So for the people that's criticizing Devin, Cotto did the same thing. How are you going to use Cotto as an example to criticize Devin when Cotto waited 4 years before fighting Margarito again? I see people say Cotto didn't sue Margarito like Devin Haney did though. Little do they know, Cotto couldn't sue Margarito since Margarito trainer took the fall. He claimed Margarito had nothing to do with it. He didn't even know about it. So the trainer ended up taking the whole fall. So Cotto could not sue him, even if he wanted to. Either way, Devin Haney made a whole lot of sense. The reason why he said he don't want to fight Ryan Garcia right now is because he doesn't know or he can't trust that Ryan is not going to cheat again. Yeah, he got caught last time, but who is it to say that he's going to get caught next time? We all know a cheater is going to find a new way to cheat. And Ryan was passing the test throughout the training camp for the Devin Haney fight. He only failed the week of the fight. Therefore, that means there's room for Ryan to cheat. I told you guys, when VADA does the testing, you can cheat before the testing. That's first of all. Then once you cycle off in order to start testing, VADA only tests on average once a week. So there's room for Ryan to cheat. The way Paulie explained, Ryan was most likely taking small doses after he gets tested by VADA. Then he was using IV to flush it out of his system quicker. you can flush that out of your system within 9 hours after taking PEDs. So when you do the math, first of all, you can cheat 100% off cycle and not get caught. Then when you're ready to do the cycle during training camp, once testing starts by VADA, the only way you can ensure that Ryan is not going to cheat 100% is for VADA to test him every single day, twice a day. Do you guys know how many times that is for a 2 months time span? That's 120 times to ensure Ryan is not going to cheat 100%, which is not possible. And that's why Devin Haney said, yeah, he got caught cheating this time, but who is it to say he's going to get caught cheating next time? Since VADA only tests 8 times during the time span of 2 months. But like I explained earlier, in order for VADA to ensure that Ryan is not going to cheat 100%, they have to test him 120 times during the time span of 2 months, because it only takes 9 hours to flush PEDs out of your system completely through IV in order to pass the test. And that's why Devin Haney didn't want to take the gamble immediately, which is why Devin Haney decided to sue Ryan first to see if he can actually get a clean Ryan to fight. I mean, any person with a brain will do what Devin Haney just did. With the opinions out of the door and the facts laid out on the table, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So here's the way it works, and I'm sure Chris also understands, because Chris partially explained this to me as well. Here's how it works when you're microdosing. So you bigger dose off season, which is not when there's no fights and nobody's getting tested, because boxing is the Wild West and doesn't test in between fights. Yeah. And then you're microdosing during camp. And when you're microdosing, it is trapped in the fat and therefore not going into your bloodstream, so therefore it's harder to catch you. When a fighter struggles to make weight, sometimes they're losing all that fat, and you get a little bit of tricklage coming out of the fat, and the drugs will come out in small spurts. That's why they're always caught in small doses. And people, the moronic part of the population will say, oh, that's not enough to help him. No, that's just the part that finally leaked.
It's the leftovers, essentially.
Yes, and because they struggle in weight, which is also a typical thing when you start to think about it, why guys keep moving up in weight. So there's less struggles when they're doping to make weight, and therefore they keep moving up in weight and keep showing no signs of weakening and no signs of aging and no signs of, we don't have to name names. The boxing's right with it, you know? But nonetheless, now when I started to learn this part, because every single time a guy fails, I'm always asking questions and I'm always learning a little bit more. And this time, when it came to this microdosing situation, it's a big way to beat even the random drug tests, because it's not going to show up unless you're really draining yourself. So therefore, it makes sense why guys keep moving up in weight. So Ryan was struggling to make the weight, and he failed right at the end. But he passed in the middle of camp. This kind of explanation is an explanation worth looking into when it comes to his failed B test, B sample. As for the lawyers, they're going to play lawyer, and they're going to manipulate it as much as possible and mention that he passed those tests in the middle of camp. Well, I just explained to you in the method that microdosing work why he would have passed the tests in the middle of camp but failed at the very end. Because at the very end was when he was drained. Remember, he struggled to make weight. He was drained, and therefore the substances start coming out, which also explains why he's now talking about fighting at welterweight, junior middleweight, super middleweight against Benavidez. You also get a little bit of sense of why he would do that as well if this is the case. So once you know how the science of it works, you start to really put things together. You can reach your own conclusions. If you want to be a groupie, you can and reach no conclusions. But I'm the person who's going to keep thinking about and keep thinking about not just fighters now, like Ryan, but also fighters in the past, fighters that have failed, fighters that have not failed, and so on and so forth. Really puts a light bulb over the situation.